Good morning, peoples. Bruce here with Targeted Wealth Creation, back at you with Group B actuals. All right, guys, I'm disappointed. You're going to likely be disappointed, and apologize for getting you excited. I really thought we were going to get a good payout. Let's jump into that damage, and we'll go from there. So I had 482. I reported to you guys yesterday after Monday trading in the late evening, early morning, and I said, hey, they rolled the synthetic. I said, the only way we're going to get a big $5 plus payout is if they rolled the synthetic. Well, baby, they rolled it early Monday, and that put a net between 101 and 107 million. There are 9 million shares. So when you do the math on that, it's over $11. So yeah, they lost some money on the weeklies, but 5, 6, 8 million. I mean, it's still a $10 in the piggy bank. Well, they playing the game of, well, that came in, that didn't count. We're saving that. I say phooey, BS. You want to keep people in the fun? You've got almost a $70 stock. $3 on a performer like this that's making that kind of money is a joke. So you've got to go to a fund that's been growing like a weed to not happening. I can tell you right now, for me personally, I won't just get out of it. I'll take this payment. I'll give them next month to make a $5 or better payment, unless the market turns bad and they lose a lot of that $10 they've captured and 11 that they paid out 3, and say, I went through this with YBIT. You vote with your feet. YBIT had like $8 in it. I predicted a $4 payout. They paid like $1.80. So I was more than upset and told everybody, people don't follow me. I don't want you doing, if I'm upset, make up your own mind on all of this kind of stuff. But to me, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just the power of the pen. They choose to do what they choose to do. Um, and so therefore I'm disappointed. I know how well Palantir would do. I just go out and do my own options, or I'll go over to Round Hills Fund, or there's competition. The old saying of vote with your feet. All right. So I'm disappointed, guys, and apologize for getting you guys excited. Just realize what you're dealing with here. YIELDMAX is great sometimes, and to be honest, YIELDMAX sucks sometimes. Massive NAV erosion in some of these. I mean, hell, do you want to come out here and jump into Murney? Yeah, it's a nice stock that you paid $20 a year and a half for. And oh, yeah, they're paying 100% yield on that, baby. 19 cents. So there's your $20 stock. How long is it going to take you to get even at 20? Oh, but there's always somebody out here that said, but I bought it at 235 and I'm going to have house money in 16 months. What do you own? Do you want to own something like that? Okay, it's not that great a pharma company, to be honest. All right, guys. So I'll get serious on here. Dollar, I had $1.09 for NVDY. 67 cents is what they paid. Okay. They know better than I do. I don't have the daily, everyday detail on this guy. Not an awful yield. NVIDIA's, well, actually, NVIDIA's done pretty well the last couple of months. They surprised me even. So Facebook Meta paid 53 cents. I had 47, a nice yield. JPMO, I had them at 33. They paid almost 28. Not a big yield, but look at their IV. And then Murney. Don't even get me started with Murney. GDXY. I wanted to give them 60 or 70, but I don't trust YIELDMAX always on paying up. Look at this, 37, 72, 63. They've been doing good, but in all honesty, the silver juniors, and the other is what's really been coming on lately. This is based on GDX, which are all the senior miners. But let me give you an example, guys. You talk about how bullish this stuff is going forward. If you're looking for an alternative and not just a crypto and not some other high payer, I've said it before. If you want income, there's a lot of ways to make more money and growth on precious metals miners. I've done a bunch of mining reviews on stocks. Most of them are up 30, 40% since I posted that stuff 3 weeks ago. So, and it's all in a playlist, precious metals and miners. But to give you an idea, let me just do that real quick. GDX houses a lot of the senior miners. You're talking about the best of the best in the world, right? Top 15, 20, 30, 40 gold mining companies. These companies sold their gold at an average in fourth quarter for their earnings on the first quarter at $2,850. They will have sold their gold in the second quarter when they start reporting in July for 3,350. So you get an uplift. If you sell something for $28, now you're selling it for $33 and all those millions of ounces. Okay. So that's like printing money. Your costs are somewhat fixed. It's labor and it's energy, right? Diesel. Those are their two massive costs, the input cost. So what they call AISC, all-in sustaining cost, some of the miners at 2,800 had 1,700. That's a real profitable. Well, that 1,700 now just moved up 500 to 2,300. So these things are like printing money and they're going to make money. What happens when a stock is beating their earnings massively and doing well? And they're starting to move about a month ago or so. So these things over the next 3, 4, 5 years, sure, gold's going to be volatile, but it's going to be volatile to the upside. It's going to pull back to 32. It's going to 35. It's going to 4,000. It's going to 5,000. It's going to 7,000. I see all that in 2.5 years. So remember, when you want to own an income fund, you want to own it on bullish. It's not going to pay 100% yield right now on GDXY because the IV is too low. Give it a year when this is 50, 60, 70% IV. So the big key is started at 20 at 16. Would you rather buy something that started at 20 and it's $2? Well, if you're just as bullish, okay, and they're going to do as well as the miners, then I guess you know something I don't. Okay, so nice distribution. Dips, the inverse of NVDY. Remember how I talk about in some of mine, Winter and Misty, how sometimes these are good when NVDY doesn't do as well. I had $1. I don't track them every day on the income, but from what I could see, they were 80, 90, $1.10. Put $1.60 last month. They've had 67, 70, $1.60, 82. So this is back lower. But dips is the inverse. So you would think when this is down that this might be up, but it doesn't always work that way. Inverses sometimes help you. Sometimes inverses aren't that great. I like what Winter looks like against Misty right now is helping. All right, so dips paid 29 on a 39 estimate. BABO paid 43 cents on 47 I had predicted. I like BABO, the Chinese Amazon. I think they will get going as that economy strengthens. Their PEs, people talk to me about Palantir. Oh, I can't buy it. The PE is just too crazy. Well, it's going to get crazier before it gets less because the company is still going to do well. But these PEs are minuscule on the Chinese companies. All right. MARO, I had them at $1.56. They paid $1.97, $1.84, $1.47, $1.55, and $2.10. So they paid less, but look at this, this change. They did drop. And I tried to make note of that and said they're going down. I didn't go down enough, guys. 16.5 cents on YMAX. They paid 14. I had 18 and a half, and they paid 17 on YMAG. I got really close on LFGY. I had 46.5. They paid 46.8. I had 32 for Gaputi. Or sorry, I had 31. They paid 32. S Diddy, I had 22. They paid 22. Q Diddy, I had 26. They paid 23. I had 26 for R Diddy. They showed me 32 and a half or more. This one gets fun, guys. Ulti, 0.089. You know, it's somewhere between 8.5 and 9.5 fairly regularly. We did pop for 11 one time. Well, they showed me they came in at 0.875. So I ended up being very close. Chippy, I had them at 36. They showed me they paid almost 41, guys. Good job, Chippy. Chips are still, semiconductors are still hanging in there. All right, guys, sorry about any of the lecture, and I apologize for getting you excited about PLTY. But I'll tell you, I am. If they don't pay $5, $6 next month, I will go elsewhere with my money. I'll vote with my feet. All right, guys, bye for now. This is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. Bye for now.